Good afternoon everyone, my name's Fiona, I'm from Alio Moon Arts, and today we're going to be making just a little card. The design team have just recently been given the Couture Creations Lavender Love collection, and this is the collection itself. You get two, I think, pages of each. Just let me read that on the back. Here we go. This exclusive set includes 16 double-sided pages, 63 ephemera pieces. Yeah, and it's looking lovely. I actually really love it. So we're just going to go through and I'm just going to show you a few of these. So this is the butterfly one. We've got two of those, and then the reverse side is some light with lavender polka dots. I love this piece, it's gorgeous. So we've got this one with a beautiful butterfly on it and all this lavender, and on the back we've got this mottled lavender look. We've got the lavender jug and the little bucket, and it's also got some lace detail on this side, and on the back it's got some greens and some lavenders. I'm just going to move this up here a little bit. It's out. Sorry about rocking you around there. Okay. For those of you who like to do some cutting out, these are you can cut these out and use them as on your ephemera, and it's got a gingham on the back of this one. Love some of these pictures, they're just gorgeous. It's got a jar with some lavender in it. It's also got the lace detail along the side, and it's got like these line pieces on the back. Then we've just got lavender, and it's got like timber, like a timber wall of some sort on the other side of that, which is really lovely. Then we've got another lot of lavender, and it's got lines on the back of it as well. So this would be good if you're going to make a journal, and that is something that I'm going to be doing a little bit with this collection. So the first one I'm going to do is we're going to create a card, and then a little bit further down the track, and I think this one goes this way. So your focal point comes down to here, so you could dress this up however you would like. So that was that, and we also got, where did I put those? Here they are. A packet of, I've got these die cuts, which we're going to be using. I'm taking some of those. We also got some of these, what are they called? Paper flowers, two-tone baby blue mulberry paper, and I also got some white ones as well. Where did I put those? I'm a little bit unorganised. Well, I'll try to organise, but as you can see, I still can't find anything here. Okay, here are the white ones that we got, which were really lovely. We've got some of these grasses to go with this, and we got these beautiful adhesive pearls, which I absolutely adore. And I'll show you how I'll use all of those a little bit later on. And we've got this 6 by 6, I think it is. Just let me measure that. Yeah, 6 by 6 pad of the lavender collection. That's the same papers that you just seen. Just a bit of a flick through. And the same applies on this. You've still got the ones that you can do the cutout. So if you want to do some fussy cutting, that would work really, really well with those. Some other things that we got were some beautiful papers. So I got this beautiful green. I don't know the colour. I don't know the colour of this one, but it's a beautiful sort of yellow green. And we've got this green, which is a little bit more blue green, and it's another really pretty colour. We've got a blue, another sort of more pastel-y type of green, a lavender, and a purple. I've used some of these ones already, and the grey. All really lovely colours and go really well with this design that we're going to be doing today. I've also pulled out some Art Deco inks. I've got blueberry purple, green grass and spring green. So we're going to use some of those. Also we've got some an embossing ink pad, embossing pen, some liquid drops for 3D pearls, and we've got some moss stone embossing powder. So we will also be using those today. So I'm just going to move a few things out of our way. I have got this mostly prepared, so I've cut things up straight away. So this 12 by 12 piece of green cardstock, I've just cut it in half and then folded it in half, which has created our base for this card. And so we'll open that up. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to put a sentiment in this or not. I'm thinking at this stage I would like to leave it without a sentiment, and that way at a later stage I can decide on who I'm going to give that to. So something that I found in my stash, I don't even know where I got these. There's these little foam things. They're sticky on both sides. They're double-sided and they're little foam things. We are going to be using some of those because I'm wanting a bit of a 3D effect. I've also cut out, and I'll just measure this one. I'll do it in inches, 4.5 by 4.5 inch square to go onto this, and we're going to be using some Couture Creations all-purpose art glue. I love this stuff. I use it all the time. It's one of my favorites. So what I'm going to do to start off with is we're going to glue this down, and then we'll move on to our other pieces. So I'm just going to put a little bit in around the corners, just around the edges. I can never do just around the edges. I've got to put some in the middle too. Okay, that's our first bit. I'll just put my little pin back in there. And I just want to try and centre this pretty much on the page. So I've got a little bit of that going on. And what I've done also is I've grabbed 4 of these leaves, which are, what are they called? Paper grass, green mulberry paper. And there's a code on there, and I'll put some of the codes in the link as well. So I've used these. I've used the white lavender and the blue lavender, and I've got 1 of the blue lavender and 2 of the white ones in this composition. And all I've done is I've twisted them together to how I wanted it. And these die cuts, what I've done, I like this one because I can actually put this 3D sort of effect lavender through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this to my page, but I'm going to use these little squares, and I'm going to say I'm probably going to have to stack a few of them on top of each other to get enough height for what I'm after, and I'm not quite sure how this is all going to work, but anyway, we'll have a go and we'll see how it all goes, see how we get it all together. So I'm probably going to have to glue this onto the back here. I might even use a bit of tape, actually. I might have some double-sided tape, which might work better. Let me just have a look in my drawer. Yes, I do. So I've got a little bit of this double-sided tape, which I might just put on there now and get the ball rolling with that. I just want to put it in. So I'm just going to grab some of my scissors. These are Couture Creations, just general purpose scissors, I think, or fussy cutting scissors. I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head, but that's where I got these ones from. And I'm going to make sure that I really get that pushed down right over that to really secure it. I'm just going to cut that little bit off there. Got a little bit too long. Okay, take that little bit off, and I really want to make sure that's secured on there. So I've only taken the thing off one side of this tape. I've left the other side on at this stage. I'll sort that out a little bit later on. So I'm just going to put another piece on, really make sure it's around there really well. That way I can just move these around a bit. So it just looks like they're coming out of they're sitting in the arm of the jug, because I really do want a 3D effect with this. So that's what we're trying to achieve here. Okay, so I'm going to grab some of these next. And I think I've got this little prick tool. I'm just going to use it to try and pull some of these off because I want about 3 or 4 of them together. Oops, that's going to pull the tape off all of those. I don't want that. I just want to be able to, let's see if this will work. Put that one on there. Get this one, and I want to keep the tape on that top piece, but it's not going to stay there. I want to put, come off. I need this to be higher than what this is so that I can get the right amount of height that I need. Oh, come off. So I'm just going to put another one on top of there. I'm going to put some over on this corner. I'll put 2 and then 1 on top. So you can see that. I'm hoping this is still in frame. My big fingers are not in the way. So I'm just going to grab another one. We'll put another one on top. I'm going to do the same at the top of it. We've got the same amount of height all the way through. So there's 1 and oops, no, not there. These are really sticky, these things. 2. I'll put 1 on top of it. I might need to go 1 higher yet. I'm not 100% sure. Now let's do 1 all over on this side. So I'm just pulling these off. Okay, 1. Okay, put that 3rd one on, and I'm thinking, let's see how we go. Is that going to sit up high enough? Yep, that will. I think I need to put a couple in that centre piece as well, just so that it gives that little bit of support. So probably some are down here, some through the centre. So I've got to go 2 high. But I'm using 3 of them just to give it a little bit more. So I'm going to go 2 there, in the centre. I'm going to put these 2 down here. I might put 2 there as well. 2 here. Now we'll start putting our ones on top. This one will go on top of there. Make sure that's glued down. Those ones were a lot narrower than what these are. They were the ones right on the edge. I'd say it was the cut edge. So now I'm going to put this one on top up here. One on top of here. I'm just going to put a couple down this side as well. So 1, just take that, bit of paper off it, and 2, take a bit of paper off again. Okay, I might just put a couple on this handle as well, just to be on the safe side because it's carrying a fair amount of weight. with those the leaves and the lavenders on it. Okay, that's got that off. Okay, and one more. Oops, sticking to it. Let's pop this one on here. Just take that little piece of, I don't know what you call these things, like it's 3D foam or what it is, but it just helps to give that little bit of height. So I'm just going, we've got this piece glued down. I've just got to make sure I position this right. So I want it to come a little bit over here. Yep, that's going to be perfect. Okay, so now we have our lavender on. Now, this was also in that ephemera kit. It's just got my garden, and I'm actually making this one with somebody in mind. I've got a really good friend. It's going through a little bit at the moment, and I think this will be a nice cut. She'll like this. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I'm not going to put it right on the edges because I don't want the edges they'll be sitting off the card. I'm just going to put my garden. And her garden is her happy place. She loves being in her garden when she gets the opportunity to be. So another thing that I did is I'm going to put this, don't forget, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put love down the bottom here, but I'm going to use this embossing pen to write it on there, and then I'll emboss it onto here. So just trying to figure out where I'm going to do that. I think I might put it on this purple because the embossing powder I've got is actually a dark moss stone, so it's going to come out sort of this colour. It's not going to matter if I put it on the green, I suppose. It'll still show quite well. We'll see what happens, but we're going to, and the other thing we've got to do is these 3D flowers that they have in the kit. Where is my other one? I'm missing a butterfly. Here it is. So what I've done is I've taken the pearls. Where did I leave the pearls? Over here. Yep. So I've taken the 3D pearls and I've put them on one half of the butterfly wing, and so we'll go ahead and we'll put them on this other side. I just pulled them off. I don't have one of those little tools that they use to take them off, but what I did was I sort of looked at where the wings sort of turned in a little bit, so I've just put it on the edge of the wing there. That's the first one. Let's have a look at the next one, and I've sort of just slid it onto there using my thumb and just sliding the piece of card sort of underneath it. And it's going to make a liar out of me. Of course it will. Get on there, please. Okay, that one's not going on there very well today. Let's slide. There we go. So, and I'm just pressing them down just to make sure they're going on there nicely. These are, the glue on these is pretty good actually. I'm just going to put this one on my finger and I'm just going to pop it onto the next one. And this is just to add a little bit of bling to our butterfly. So these were some of the die cuts. These were a couple of die cuts that were in there. There was a bigger one and there's a slightly smaller one, so I'm going to use both, but I want to put the bling on this bottom one first before I attach the top one to give it that 3D effect. So this card is really all about the 3D look. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 on the bottom. Of course it is. So I'm going to go one here, one here, not on my nail, come off there, that's it. So one here and one more to go. So I've been playing around with this last night decide on what I was going to make for today. And I don't generally make cards, but I thought I'd have a go because I thought this really lent itself to making some beautiful cards. I'll just move you down here a little bit onto that one and we'll be right. Okay. Okay, so we've got our bling on our butterfly. Okay, so I'm just going to chippy swing. So this one, what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've got this liquid drops 3D pearls, and I'm actually getting, this is a pewter, and I've actually put some drops down this top side of the wing, and I'm going to do the same on this side. And the motion for this, believe it or not, is just up down. But don't squeeze too hard like I did. I got a big blob on there early when I first done it. So just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And so they'll take a little bit of drying, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this butterfly. And I'm not sure whether you can see just this top of the head here. I'm wanting to make sure when I place my butterfly, this one, I'm just going to bring that up a little bit. I'm going to place it just behind the top of that head. So it almost becomes, so it looks like it's part of the one butterfly. There we go. Just holding that down with that. Okay, and that'll, I'm just going to let that dry, but that's going to eventually sit on the card over here, like so. I suppose we could glue it down now and just let it dry. I might do that, excuse me. Let's grab this dry side that's already been done. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down that centre. I'm going to pop that on there, give it a little push just to hold it in place for a second. Okay, there's our pretty little butterfly done. Now, this one, I'm going to put, don't forget, you are, and then I'm going to write loved here. So just a little bit of glue. This all-purpose glue is just so good. I just love it. I'm going to put it up here. Don't forget. And I sometimes think that writing on your card is really nice because it just personalises a bit. And it's nice to have some handwritten stuff on a card, I think. Okay. And the colours I've kept sort of with the lavendery type stuff, and I'm going to use the green down here for loved, which I think will pop nicely. I'm just going to do it on this lavender, so I'm going to go, I'm wanting to make sure that's really okay. So I've got my bit of paper that I've got over here. Just going to put a lid on my glue while I think about it. Pick up my card and grab my embossing powder. I'm just going to make sure that that all got covered really well. And I want to make sure I get all of that embossing powder off there, because if it goes anywhere else it'll set, and I'm just going to need to get a little brush, I think. Here we go. There's a little paintbrush I can use. Let's grab this one. So I'm just going to, that's taken it all off. Great. Like I said, it's the first time using embossing powder, so please forgive me. I have seen that some people use those anti-static little bags. I'm thinking I may have to get one. Okay, that should be right. So I'm just going to pop that down there while I tip this back into the little jar. So how have you all been? How's everybody been travelling? We're finally over all the dramas of the COVID and the flu and everything. So I've got a Couture Creations heat gun, which I'm just going to turn on. It will be a little noisy, I'm sorry. When I edit the video, hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to mute it in this section. Well, that's the process that I'm going to need to brush up on. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll just run through the products that we've used again today. So I've used Lavender Love papers from Couture Creations. We've also used these premium adhesive pearls. There's 442 pieces on this, and I'm just wondering if they've got a size on it. These are 2 millimeters wide, so these are small. They're really cool. They're very cute. I'm really happy with the way this card has turned out. We've also used these blooms, which are Paper Flowers White and Paper Flowers Two-Tone Baby Blue, which have gone really lovely with this. We've used our Ephemera set for Couture Creations. We have used our brass, which is these green ones. We've used our cardstock. We've used a green and a purple, and of course we've used our Lavender Love collection papers, which these come off of. What I might do actually is I might just in the inside here, just to finish this off, I've just had a bit of a thought. I might, what is the size of that? That's too big. This one should work. So if I cut it from about there, I'm just going to get a pencil about there, from there, 4.5. There it is. I'll just move this one down here so that I can see it. Okay, so I'm going to grab, oh no, I'll have to do it on this one. I'm just going to do it on my paper trimmer. I'm just going to pop this one in. Okay, go around. To trim that off first. It's too big otherwise. going to open this up and pop that down here. I'm just going to trim off that little piece, that strip on the end, just so that I can get it into my trimmer properly. I'm just going to trim off that little piece. And I'm going to turn this around. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take off that piece where the butterfly is. It should be at about 4.5. No, it'll be less than that. It'll be more than that because I'm taking it from a different point. Okay. I'm taking that piece off. I'm going to spin it around this way now, and I want to make it go. This one to be 4.5 this way. Okay, so now I've got the bit that I want, and I'm just going to pop that on this inside piece of my card, because I think that brings that into here, maybe on this side. You can write it. Yeah, I think on this side, and that way we can write on this side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my all-purpose glue, and I'm just going to put some glue all over this. We're just going to center this up on our page. Okay, it needs to come down a little bit. Okay, that finishes it off nicely. It's a little skewy. There we go. I'm just going to push that down a little bit. And there you go. Now we've got a beautiful card. Now I've just got to write in it. I hope you've enjoyed this. Couture Creations stockists around Australia. Pop into one of them and ask them for your Couture Creations products. I hope you've enjoyed this. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.